Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to our program tonight. I say evening because we're doing this on Thursday night ahead of Friday afternoon. And word is it's in the Eastern Cape in Gqeberha that it is raining there, has been for most of the last couple of days. And Nino Podesta joins me on the line from Cape Town. Nino, the word coming through is that at this stage, all we know is that it is going ahead on the turf, but it may well change to poly. And just the word of caution to those watching this program, that if it does change to poly, we will have to change our selections. So these selections are designed by Nino Podesta to be on the turf track. And if there is a change in service, then we will change those selections accordingly. But Nino Podesta joins us from Cape Town. Good evening to you, Nino. How are you?
Good evening, Nico. I'm good. And yourself?
I'm very well, thanks. This morning, we're still speaking to on a Thursday, was the July gallops out at Greyville. I don't know if you had a chance to watch those this morning early. Did you have a look and see?
I saw a couple of them on the 240 channel with, I think Clyde Basil was presenting it. I saw, I can't remember, a couple of them I did see, not all of them, Nico.
What did you make of them, the ones that you saw?
I saw Red Saxon. I didn't actually see any of the horses that I gave chances to. So
Yes.
I saw Jet Dark gallop, but he galloped on his own, so I couldn't see much on that. Red Saxon, I saw galloping with a stable companion. He galloped well. Who else? I did not see any of the horses that I fancy though, Nico.
Okay. I had a chance to watch the de Kock horses galloping. They galloped in pairs. So you had the two horses, Safe Passage and Aragosta, galloping together. And then you had Sparkling Water and Almutana galloping together. And I thought all of them put up good gallops. I thought Almutana galloped better than Sparkling Water, but that's not to say that Almutana will beat Sparkling Water. I thought that Sparkling Water has got a massive chance in the running of the big race next weekend with Simanga Kamalo on board. I think that's got a big chance. And then in terms of Safe Passage Aragosta, I think both have got lively possibilities. One's got Warren Kennedy now. Aragosta's got Warren Kennedy. Muzieni rides Safe Passage. I think Mike de Kock is going to win this year's July. I don't know with which one, though. That's the question.
Yeah, Nico, you could probably do that. There's no reason why you shouldn't. But on the other side of the coin, I think it's a very competitive July. And to be honest with you, I think it's one of the hardest Julys to pick a winner. I think there's quite a few horses with chances.
Well, we've got lots of programming coming up in the next week, Nino. So just before we go into the Fairview program, I am going to be speaking to Mike de Kock in a one-on-one interview, going through his runners on July Day. So that I'm hoping to do in the next few days. And then the big carrot for next week for all our Clock in the Gallop listeners is the in-depth discussion with the one and only, the racing guru of them all, of all gurus, Robert Blumberg.
The
ringer. We're speaking to the ringer, Robert Blumberg, about each and every race running at Greyville, Hollywood Bets Greyville next week. We're hoping to get a sponsor on board as well. More about that during the course of the next week. But Robert's kindly agreed to come on the show, and we're probably going to air that from next Wednesday onwards on this particular channel. So we're really looking forward to it, and it is proven to be extremely popular over time.
Yeah, Nico, isn't he just a legend, Robert Bloomberg, and always ready to help, humble. That's the kind of guys we need in racing.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to chatting to him. But let's go to our racing on Friday. And at the moment, it is rain affected. Now, I can tell you that the penetrometer reading for Fairview was done earlier on this Friday at about 3:30. And at that stage, the track condition was still good on the turf track, but they had about 8 millimeters of rain. But that may well change overnight. There'd be no withdrawals on the card, but let's run through it now with Nino. Let's go to race one. Race one is a maiden juvenile plate for fillies round the turn 1400. And here you're going for Eclair as your top choice, number 4.
Yeah, Nico, I think this is a 2-horse race, but before we even carry on with the card, we need to stress that this was done as a turf meeting, and even if it is on the turf tomorrow, Nico, the going is going to have a big say in the outcome of a lot of races, especially with my best bet on the card later. So I think that, if it stays on the turf, I think he cleared the Flower Alley, brilliant first run, and Sugarberry. I think those two will fight it out. I think you could get a bit of improvement from number 2, Bavarian Jet, and also number 7, Lady Shiva. But for me, a boat race between 4 and 11.
Okay.
Both well-bred horses. The one is a Flower Alley, and the other one is an Ideal World. They will love Sugarberry has gone 1400 already, but what's the name? Eclair, been out of Flower Alley by Western Winter. I think she'll love the extra 200 meters, and I think those two will fight it out.
Okay, well, we did have the Cotson stable winning with Carbonado last Friday, so they could well follow up and win the juvenile race again here. But 4, 11, 2, and 7 are Nino's selections for race 1, which is the start of the bipot. Now, race 2 kicks off the place accumulator up the straight 1200 meters. It is a juvenile plate. The off time is 12:40. I'm just having a look here. Note in this race that number 7, the Reflex, has a tongue tie, and a compression mask goes on number 2, Kanya's Hope, which is your selection here. Kanya's Hope gelded after its last run. That's important.
Yeah, that is. And Nico, I think she's run against much stronger. If you just have a look at, she's run behind Cliff Top and Korea, 2 horses that were thought good enough to go contest feature races in Durban. So I think she's going to be very hard to beat on that kind of form. Number 1, Coastal Path, did win first time out on Yildi going. But again, we've got to make sure that this race doesn't go to Polly. And then the only other horse I think is Indigo. She's 3 kilos better with Coastal Path for a 1.75 beating. I think she could get much closer. So I think Kaya's Hope to beat Indies View and Coastal Path. But I'm quite strong with Kaya's Hope.
Yeah, Kaya's Hope is a son of the United States. Has had 4 runs, and the runs, as you mentioned, behind Cliff Top and Ikoria, especially that last run behind Ikoria was a good one, giving Ikoria 2.5 kilos and running 4 lengths back. And I believe that Kaya's Hope, as you've tipped it first, is the horse to beat over there. 2 from 5, 1 and 3. Race 3 starts off the pick 6, a maiden over 1,000 meters, runs at 1:15. Changes in the third race. Number 1, Maradiva, has a compression mask, and Blinkers Tongue Tiger on number 4, Psychedelic Eric. Compression mask on number 5, Goom Goom. Right, your selection here, you're going with Maradiva to win and beat home the field here. Maradiva ahead of Miss Rose and My Lord and Master, 192.
Yeah, Nico, I think it's a very trappy race. This Maradiva, it's got the form, but there's a lot of horses here that have been tested and tried, had a lot of runs. Maradiva and Miss Rose have got the best form, but there are lurkers hanging around here. A horse like Goom Goom,
Yes.
very well bred by Val, extra cock. He could show any kind of improvement in PE. He ran 11 lengths behind Who's That Star, but he's running against much weaker here tomorrow. And then there's 2 well-bred first-timers from the Alan Greer stable. The one used to be with the cock, but never ran for him, Southwester by Invincible Spirit. And then you got the well-bred Jemaya by Ideal World. And you know, Nico, they don't have to be very good to beat a field like this. Any market support for these has to be taken seriously. And then I also give a bit of a chance to Tipsy Tina. I think she's quite a high, a long shot in the race. She contested the feature race last time. She ran behind Nicole. I think you can put a line right through the race, that run. But on the third behind Easy Living, before that, she's going to have a chance. Very trappy races, race number 3, Nico, especially if the going is heavy tomorrow, and it's going to be difficult for Maladiva to come from a one draw on heavy going.
Okay, so not the easiest of contests, that in the third race of the day. I was just quickly going here to some stats because working with Alistair Cohn earlier on today, we were looking at the race for the apprentice jockey title between Rachel Venniker and Caden Brewer. Now, I know Caden Brewer gets a lot of winners down in the Eastern Cape. At the moment, as of today, it looks like there are 13 winners apart. Rachel Venniker's 13 winners ahead of Caden Brewer.
Yeah, she must have ridden a couple. The last time I saw, she was 9. She was 9 ahead. Now she's 13 ahead.
She's 13 ahead. So she does have a nice cushion. She could well go on to win. So there's only 5 or 6 weeks left to the end of the season. Okay, so you're liking number 1, Maradiva, the 2-to-1 chance to beat home, Miss Rose, and My Lord and Master, with 4th going to number 14, Tipsy Tina. There's been a bit of money for Tipsy Tina, in from 10-to-1 to 8-to-1. Right, let's move on to race number 4 now. The 4th race, off at 10-to-2, is a maiden plate fillies and mares, 1,400 meters. In race 4, there are no changes to take note of, and your top choice here is number 2, Sail Away With Me, who I called last time out, and I've got to say that she ran from way back to finish second. I actually liked her strongly last time out, and she got going too late in the day, but ridden a bit closer by Greg Sheen. She's definitely right up there today. I mean, on Friday.
Yeah, Nico, she's got to be on form, the horse to beat. She's run. If she doesn't win a maiden tomorrow, then I think she's going to struggle to do so. She's meeting a very mediocre kind of field. It can only be a bit of improvement from number 5, the just as well. Alastriona. I don't know what that means, but anyway,
Alastriona.
Alastriona. With Warren Kennedy drawn 1, that could show some improvement. Not a bad first run behind Fedra. And remember that Fedra franked that form by running 4th and then winning again after winning a maiden. So that form has been franked. I think that's the most likely horse to give Sail Away With Me a run for its money. And then the only other 2 I give chances to is Galileo, number 3, and number 8, Dream Star, the Admiral Kitten horse. She's had the 2 educational runs, not far behind. And, you know, you've got to always be careful with these horses from the Coxon stable. They usually show the best after 2 or 3 runs.
Okay, so that's at 258. Dream Star tipped to improve, which is a 2-year-old daughter of Admiral Kitten, and 3 is 4th Galea. Okay, let's move into race 5 now for the punters out there. 2:25 the off time of this fillies and mares 66 handicap over 1,400 meters. In race 5, let's look at the changes. Compression mask on number 8, Tamil Tiger. No blinkers for number 15, Under My Hat. Right, your numbers in the order that you like them. You like Chloris, which we've gone for a few times before, ahead of Forward March. 3rd to the 11, French Joy. 4th, number 13, Grey Princess.
And Nico, I think if this race stays on the poly and the going is not so heavy, I am very strong on Claudius. I think she's got the form to win this kind of a race, and that's my clear and strong first choice. Placings become difficult after that. I think maybe Forward March, and it was fancied last time. That could have a chance. And 11. If it goes to poly, I actually made a selection for turf and poly here. If it goes to poly, then number 11, French Joy, will come in with a bit of a chance at a nice price. and also if it stays, I haven't tipped Louvain. I know I went for it last time.
Yes, you
didn't
did.
like the poly. I think if this stays on the turf, then I think that comes into the reckoning. Number 14, Louvain, and 13, Great Princess. But I'm very strong on Chloris.
Yeah, I think if it remains on the turf, Chloris is a big runner. We've been for a few times before. Tara Lang trains this, Ryan Munger rides, and could well be the right horse in race 5. Paging on to race 6 for the public. It's 3 o'clock for a classified stakes, 1400 meters. Changes in race 6. Compression mask on number 10, Ideal View, which you've tipped for 4th. Here you've gone for Bold Resolve, and so much so that you've tipped this as the best of the day.
Yeah, Nico, I did, not knowing about the state of the going, and if it gets changed to poly, I don't think this horse will run. That's the first thing. I don't think Alan Greer will run this horse on the poly tomorrow. And also, this horse comes from way back. So if the going is very heavy, we've got another problem here, because I don't know if it's going to make up that kind of ground on heavy going. But the way it finished last time, I think he was very unlucky. Greg Sheen, it was drawn 15 out of 16, I think. He came out a bit slowly, and Greg Sheen found himself way back with too much ground to make up. But he did finish strongly to run 5 lengths behind Andrew Danced. I think over 1400, Greg Sheen is a little bit better drawn tomorrow at 11. But I think Greg Sheen's going to have him closer to the pace. And if you have a look at his penultimate run over course and distance, when he did beat Chloris by almost 3 lengths, I think this, if the going is good or not too heavy, I think this horse is going to be very hard to beat. But we have to be careful here, Nico, because either if it goes to poly, it might be withdrawn, and if the going is very heavy tomorrow, then I don't know if he's going to be able to make up that kind of ground as he likes to run from way off the pace.
Actually had the chance to speak to one of the joint owners today, Daryl Utah, who owns Bold Resolve. He said that the ownership partnership were expecting a good run from this horse on Friday. So looking forward to seeing Bold Resolve run, and we'll give that information to you in a moment to see what price it is. Right, let's move on to race 7. The hashtag This Is Racing Merit Rated 74 handicap over 1600 meters. Changes in the 7th race. It doesn't look like we've got any, so that is clear. And your tip, you're ending up going for Gold Rock number 4 ahead of 3 Essos and 2 Alado's Pride, 4, 3, and 2.
Yeah, Nick, I'm looking for Terry Lang to have a good day tomorrow. This horse on its last run behind Hank Sailor and the 2 previous runs behind Ferrari Ice, I think this is the strongest form in the race. Ferrari Ice, as you know, came out to beat a strong field last time out. And Solar, that was a very good run against top class horses in that race. Wasn't, I think, grazing in the grass was in that race, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right.
Was it Dan Solar was grazing in the grass in the race with Dan Solar, or was Musical Glitch?
No, I thought you were talking about you were referring to the horse earlier on about Ferrari Ice. Wasn't Ferrari Ice in the race with grazing in the grass last week? I think it was.
Last week, yeah, but I'm saying when Han Solo, remember 2 weeks ago when Glenn Cotson took 4 horses?
Yes.
And he won with 3 of them. Musical Glitch, that beat Santa Therese. Han Solo, I think, beat a top class field that day.
Yes.
And Gold Rock ran 3rd, but ahead of some very nice horses. Drawn 5, Ryan Munger. I think this is a horse to beat. I know Vida Futura is favourite, but she's coming from a 15 draw tomorrow. I think Gold Rock is the right horse in this race. I do believe what.
Yeah, Han Solo beat Phoenix.
Beat Phoenix.
Yeah, that was the horse that it beat. Yeah.
But in third place was another top class horse.
Third was Gold Rock in that race.
Oh, third. Oh, correct.
Yeah.
She ran just behind Hand Sailor and Phoenix.
That's right. That's right. Okay, you were mentioning the favorite, which again, Daryl Utah, the guy that I spoke to today, owns Vida Futura, and they were expecting a big run from this too. Runs in Greg Blank's colors, the royal blue with the fuchsia star.
Yeah, I'll give it a chance. I'm just worried about the draw. Drawn 15
it's not
is
drawn
not going to
well.
make life easy. And also, second run in PE, when was it? March 22, March, April, May. Second run of the arrest. I'm not actually a believer in that, but I'm worried about the draw, Nico. Drawn 15.
Yeah. Okay, we've got to kick on to the last of the day. Race 8 at 4:10 is a fillies and mares 70 handicap. It's up the straight 1,000 meters. Changes in the 8th race. A tongue tie on number 4, Wire Yaya. No blinkers for 6, Keeping the Peace, who also has a tongue tie on, and a compression mask on number 11, After the Storm. So just going to that final race of the day, you're going here for the outsider number 14, Blind Love, who you've tipped as the value bet for the day. It's not the first time that you're going for a 20-1 value bet, and Blind Love is 20-1 when we're recording the show on Thursday night. You've tipped that to beat number 8, Fedra, 1, Pam's Princess, and 12, Sophia Aeronaut. Tell us why you like this 14-horse Blind Love.
I don't think the horse should be 20-1. I think he's best over the 1,000 meter on the turf. So last time out over the 1,200, as you can see he was drawn 1 out of 13, and he only faded the last bit. I think the 1,000 is perfect for this horse. I do believe he's best over the 1,000 on the turf, and I think there's value at 20-1. I don't believe he's a 20-1 shot. Obviously, Fedra and Pam's Princess are the form horses, but we have a problem if it goes to Polly, then Fedra's jumping from a 15 draw, which is going to make it very difficult. And so will it make it for Blind Love. And I don't believe he is a Polly horse, but I do then like a horse. If it goes to Polly, then this big outside of mine, a horse called Sophia Heron, is going to come into the reckoning. At 33-1, drawn 3. I think she's going to be a big runner if this meeting goes to the Polly.
Okay, well, we'll find out more about that on Friday morning, but those are our selections, as we stress, based on the fact that it's still on the turf on a Thursday night at this stage, and things may change come Friday morning. And if they do, we will bring you the relevant updates here on Clocking the Gallop. Right, it is now time to run through the buy pot for Nino, and we'll also go through the best bet and the value bet. But buy pot starts off in race number 1, and let's go and have a look at it. Only a 28 rand perm, mostly bankers, but a couple of horses you're going, a couple of legs rather, you're going wide.
Yeah. Nico, the buy pot is 28 rand, and we're banking number 4, Eclair in the first. I'm banking number 2, Kayas Hope in the second. Third race, I'm putting in a few horses. I'm putting in 1, Medadiva, 2, My Lord and Master, 5, the Lurker, Goom Goom. I'm putting in 9, Miss Rose, and I'm also adding in the 2 unraced horses, 11, South Wester, and 12, Jemiah. And I'm putting in number 14, Tipsy Tina. The fourth leg, I'm putting in 4 horses. Number 2, Sail Away With Me. 3, Galilea. 5, Alastriona. And I'm putting in 8, Dreamstar. Then it's Banker 2, Claudus. And Banker 3, Bold Resolve. That will cost you 28 rand.
That's for nothing there. 2 rand 80 gets you 10%. 5 rand 60 gets you 20%. And it is certainly just a bet that you do want to get involved in with Nino's numbers 4 by 2, by 1, 2, 5, 9, 11, 12, 14, by 2, 3, 5, 8, by banker 2, by banker 3. Confirming that the best bet for the day is in race 6, number 3, Bold Resolve. This one currently in the market at 3 to 1. And the value bet for the day is in the last race, race 8, where he's gone for number 14, Blind Love, who's easy to back at 20 to 1. Right, that's our racing at Fairview. And we only have a couple of minutes show left. It's enough time, Nino, for us to remind people that next weekend is the running of the Hollywood Bets Durban July. But more importantly, that Clocking the Gallop Extra is getting together to do our tipping sheets, which has proven extremely popular in the past year or so.
Yes, it has, Nico, and we've had a lot of support, and I'm grateful to all the people that support us on these extras that we have, and you know, we go out of our way to try and study the cards and bring the best information to them.
Yes, we do. And it's a team effort. Again, I reiterate that a lot of people turn around to us. They say to us, why do you do a program and then you charge for these? Well, these are joint efforts, Nino. These, everyone contributes to. The programs that we're doing now are your personal view on it. Sometimes I might add my 2 cents worth, but overall, the shows that we do on YouTube are individual tipsters coming up with the selections. And then we are going to be selling our selections for the 4 days starting next Friday, the 1st of July, through until the Monday, the 4th of July. There's a meeting at Fairview. There's a meeting, obviously, down in Durban, the big one, the Hollywood Bets Durban July meeting. And there's a meeting on Sunday at Turffontein, the 3rd of July. So for 250 Rand, you can get our tipping sheets. All you have to do is do your deposit in our Clocking the Gallop First National Bank current account. The number is 6290552831, and send us your proof of deposit, and you'll be listed on the list of people to receive our tipping sheets on all 4 mornings of the race meetings in question. If you do want to check out further information or send us a note or email, go to clockingthegallop.com. That's www.clockingthegallop.com. And let's hope that you are on board with us for next weekend. Nino, last word with you.
Yeah, Nico, I just think it's a nice initiative. Let's hope we get a lot of support, and hopefully that everything goes well tomorrow. And just to remember, my value bet in the last, Blind Love, is based on turf. Yeah. I have to stress that.
Well, as I said, we will give an update to the people out there if there are any major changes with regard to the selections on Friday morning and the surface does change. Because as you know, with bookmaker bets, if you take bets and the surface changes, your bets are null and void and you have to retake them. And that's how Clocking the Gallop will work with our selections. If there's a change of surface, we will either reaffirm our selections or we'll have to rehash them to make it more appropriate. Right, Nino, I've had a long day. Thanks so much for joining us. We will, of course, engage with you on the Hollywood Bets Durban July sometime next week. I maybe think that it's time for us to get together to do a short little program, apart from Robert Bloomberg's program, for yourself, myself, and Neil, and maybe the Ghost Rider in the background to come on as the normal, strong Clocking the Gallop team that we are, and just have a brief conversation about the July. But I can tell you one thing, is that I saw Captain's Ransom work today on her own, and what a champion that racehorse is. I mean, she looked $1 million, and when I say $1 million, you can underline that with dollar signs. She looked top class.
Nico, how many times have I told these people, you're all against me? When she ran against Chansonnet, I've tipped her and tipped her. I haven't stopped tipping her. That is an absolute machine. That horse is not going to get beaten. Not next week, and not for a while.
Not ever.
That's an absolute. That horse has got gears.
Absolutely. Nino, less than a minute left. Thank you very much for your time on this Thursday evening. Have a great day on Friday, and we'll link in with you if there is a change of surface.
Thank you, Nico. All the best.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.